Hey everyone, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Here on New Year's Eve, just wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year uh, as we move into the last game of the regular season, to be immediately followed by Black Monday when, hopefully it's a strong word, but I expect that Joe Shane will be gone. This is the last week with a game, so I'm hoping we get to see some of the younger players get into the game a little bit more. There's a little bit of, some live reps against real competition. You know who I'm talking about, so I'm not even going to mention their names. You've heard me say it all year long, but I hope we bring them up for the last week of the season. With 3-13, how much worse could we be than we are? So let's get the young kids in. Let's see what they look like with live reps. It is Wednesday. It is New Year's Eve. So it's too late to call this Mock Draft Monday. How about we call it Midweek Mock? I'm going to follow up on some thoughts that some of our listeners, Steve Bartlett and Richard Murphy, thanks so much for your suggestions and support. We appreciate you. And I'm going to do a mock draft with you, in front of you. And I'm going to follow some of Steve's advice and trade not with the Jets, but with some of the other teams, at least consider some of the other teams that may be looking to make a trade. So I opened it up already. Shout out to PFF for this technology. And the first pick in the draft was by the Raiders. They picked Fernando Mendoza. Again, we still have a shot at the first overall pick. If we lose to Dallas on Sunday, and if the Raiders beat the Chiefs on Sunday, then we get the first overall pick. But as of right now, we have the second pick. So let's go with that. So as you see right here, there are a lot of trade opportunities for us. And I'm going to take a look at them. So right now, the first trade that the algorithm is recommending is with the Tennessee Titans. In other words, it's skipping over the Jets. It's saying the Jets are not going to offer us anything to move up from 3 to 2, or at least anything significant. So they're telling us to look at Tennessee. We could also look at Arizona. We could look at Cleveland. I'm actually going to look at Cleveland, which is one of the suggestions that Steve Bartlett made. But the main reason is because Cleveland has 2 picks in the first round. So if we offer them that second overall pick and ask for the 2 picks in the first round, that is not enough. Right? This solid green line says this trade will be accepted, meaning you basically should have asked for more. So I will. So if we ask for next year's first round pick, then it says that there's a 59% chance of being accepted, which means it's probably still not enough. We could probably ask for even more. We don't have a third this year, so how about I ask for their third? Now it's saying it's a less than 30% chance. That's right. It's a 25% chance. So that probably is asking too much. What if I ask for next year's third? That's a 41% chance. Well, what if I ask for next year's third, but I give them something back, like maybe next year's fifth? Okay, so now that's a 44% chance. You know what? Let's try that. Let's see what happens. 44% doesn't mean no. Let's see if we can get their 2 firsts this year and next year's first and third for the second overall pick and next year's fifth. Let's see what happens. And they accepted the trade. Awesome. Let's go with that. So what did they do? So we see that they picked Dante Moore, which is not surprising. So the first 2 picks overall were quarterbacks, which is kind of what most people are expecting. And then Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs, and Jeremiah Love went 3, 4, 5. Honestly, I don't think Arvell Reese is going 3, and I don't think Jeremiah Love is going 5 in real life, but it is what it is. I mean, they're certainly going high, but I don't think they're going quite that high. But that leaves us with the rest of the draft field to look at. As you see over here, there's Jordan Tyson, there's Carnell Tate, 2 very good wide receiver prospects. There's David Bailey, an edge rusher, Peter Woods, interior defensive lineman, et cetera, et cetera. The 2 people that you may have heard me say earlier are my 2 favorite defensive players. Mansour Delane, the cornerback from LSU, right there, and Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State. I would love to have a shot at both of them. Again, what do we have? We have the 6th pick and the 27th pick. There is next to no chance that either of them lasts to 27. What I do think is that Mansour Delane is likely to go first of the 2 because he plays a position that is considered more valuable by most people. So if I were only going to get one of them, I think I would take Mansour Delane. However, what I'm thinking is what if we looked at some other trade options? The next team that the algorithm is saying we can trade with is the Saints, who have the eighth overall pick. The next team with two first round draft picks is the Rams, but that's at 12. And let's just take a look at it. They have 12 and 24. So I don't know. I don't think 12, 24, and 27 sounds exciting, but I just don't think that any of the people that we want, that either of the people we want, are going to last that long. So by 12, I think they may both be gone. We might miss out on Mansour Delane and Sonny Styles. I don't like that unless we try to make two trades. So let's see what happens if we offer six for 12 and 24. Oh, they're not even going to do that. Okay, the algorithm is saying that the Rams would not give us 12 and 24. Well, if that's the case, then I'm not interested at all. Okay, so as much as I know Mazo and a lot of you want a wide receiver, you know I'm of the belief that our defense is a much bigger problem. So I'm going to go with Mansour Delane. And let's see what happens. Okay, so let's see who went after Mansour Delane. Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, the two wide receivers we just talked about. David Bailey, Peter Webby basically went in the order that they had listed. Makai Lemon, another really good wide receiver who was actually I think my favorite of the three. There's Sonny Styles, went to the Rams. No wonder they didn't want to trade. Ruben Bain, who I think is going to go higher than 13, to be honest. Keldrick Fault. Jermon McCoy, who I think is going to go lower. He hasn't played a snap all year long, and I know he looked like a really good cornerback last year, but he hasn't played a single snap this year. I just don't think he's going to go quite that high because of that injury concern. Uh, yes, so a lot. Caleb Banks, Spencer Fano, lineman, offensive lineman, who I really like as OL1, like OT1 in particular, offensive tackle number one in this draft, and Francis Marigoa, who I have as OL OT2. They went back to back, so we can't get either of them. Denzel Boston's wide receiver that I also like a lot. Would have been happy to have him. Caden McDonald inside. So most of the people that I was really interested in are gone. Okay, so having that second pick this first round is still going to get us a very good player, but not one of the players that I was really hoping for. CJ Allen's a very good player. I'm happy to have him. Christian Miller is a very good player. Happy to have him. Um, Amari Washington is not bad. More than not bad. He's good. These are players who AJ Halsey at safety, who I thought we would get in the second round, perhaps, but they're the best options we have left right now. So given that I still think that the defense is a sieve and needs as much support as possible, and given that I think that CJ Allen is a really good interior defensive lineman, inside linebacker, and Christian Miller is a very good interior defensive lineman, I've got to choose between these two, and I'm going to go with the linebacker, CJ Allen, and hope that an interior defensive lineman is still left. So who? Oh man, we just missed Christian Miller. Um, yeah, Christian Miller went 33. We have the 34th pick. So unfortunately, we just missed him. But Amari Washington is still available, and I really like him too. So a lot of you are going to say, well, are you ever going to take a wide receiver? Yeah, I am. Just not just quite yet. Our next pick is 102. So that is a concern that we won't have another pick until 102. But honestly, I'm working from the assumption that we don't need a wide receiver as much as we need help on the defense. I'm looking at it as though getting Neighbors and Scatterboo back is like having two extra first round picks on offense already. You've heard me say that before. I feel like we get two freebie first round picks on offense just from getting the two of them back. So the 2026 offense is going to be so much better than 2025's offense, which was already pretty decent, right? We're scoring in the 20s most games as it is. So I'm going to go to Mari Washington. And I feel very good about that. I am not going to apologize for taking a defensive tackle. And now we're up to pick number 102 in the fourth round. And I'm going to pick Caden Green, who you've heard me pick many times before. Very good prospect at guard and tackle from Missouri. Like him a lot. So this was a short 4-round draft. And let's see what I wound up with. I have traded with Cleveland. I gave them our second overall pick and next year's fifth round pick. What I got back was their two first round picks this year, picks number 6 and number 27. I got their first and their third round pick next year. Next year's supposed to be a really good draft, really deep draft, as far as the pundits are saying. Having an extra first and an extra third makes me very happy. Then in the draft, I wound up picking Mansour Delane, who you know I love, C.J. Allen, who I'm very fond of, Amari Washington, and Caden Green. And again, there's still, rounds left. This was a 4-round draft. So I would probably pick a punter in the 6th round, probably a wide receiver in the 5th round. We've got more time to do other things. Probably maybe even a safety in later rounds as well, because we clearly need some more help on the back end than just one cornerback. So that's what I did. Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. What do you think? Especially the people who asked me to do this, Mr. Bartlett and Mr. Murphy. So what do you guys think about how I pulled off the trade with Cleveland and what I got as a result of that? Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. And I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.